Hey everyone, welcome to Court TV. I'm Chanley Painter. I'm one of the correspondents here at Court TV, and you probably know lead anchor Vinnie Politan, but do you really know Vinnie Politan? I have the honor and the privilege of helping you get to know him a little bit better. You may have seen some of our past videos where you've been the one interviewing.
I interviewed you.
Right, interviewing me and all of our anchors here at Court TV, but now we're going to turn the tables. Spotlight's on you.
All right.
So let's start out with a couple softball questions like, how'd you get here?
How'd I get here? It's interesting because I studied communication in college. I grew up recording myself on cassettes and videotapes and Super 8 film. I edited Super 8 film when I was a kid, so I was totally in this. But my dad is a lawyer. My older brother is a lawyer. My dad became a federal judge, so there was really a great influence on me from the two most important men in my life about the whole world of law. So that kind of drew me to completely surprise both my parents when I said, hey, I want to go to law school. So my dad was like, okay, what's it going to cost me? But he was supportive. and I went to law school and then started that career, which I loved. And right out of the box, I was a prosecutor. And how much fun.
So much fun. Same.
Is that, you're doing great work, representing the people of the state, doing justice, and you're performing in the courtroom. And I think that was the part of the law that I loved the most, was being in the courtroom. But if you go into civil law, like I did and worked for a firm, I worked at Corella, Byrne, Bain, Gilfillan, Checky, Stewart, and Olstein.
Remember that. Hope there's not a test later.
Great people, they treated me so well. But my goodness, I could not do it. I couldn't do it every day. I mean, there were days I was at the firm where I was just planning my escape. And my escape was to get back to my first love, which is what we're doing here.
Right. So you were a part of the original Court TV.
I was.
How'd that happen?
Well, I made the transition from practicing law into television. And first I was in local news. And my agent, I had an agent, I was working down in Orlando at Central Florida News 13, all local all the time. It's my second job. My first one was at Time Warner Cable Channel 10 News, Your Town, Your Story.
Okay.
You may have heard of it. Anyhow, so I'm down there and I'm just doing my job, right? And my agent was also a former anchor at Eyewitness News in New York. And she went to an Eyewitness News reunion. So she's talking with one of her former producers, and the producer knew that she was now an agent, and she says to my agent, she says, do you know any reporters who are lawyers? And she's like, yes, I do. So unbeknownst to me, I'm just, doing my job down in Orlando. My agent on Monday morning has we actually had a videotape back then. It was before all this digital stuff. Sent my videotape. Yeah, had a videotape hand-delivered to Court TV. They took a look at it. They called her. They said, yeah, we like this guy. We want him coming up to New York for an interview, blah, blah, blah. All this is happening. I have no idea. So she calls me like Monday afternoon. She says, are you sitting down? So I'm like, yeah. She says, you're going to New York, kid.
I love it.
They flew me up to New York, had the interview, and got the job. It was absolutely amazing. And for me, to happen that quickly, because I was in local news for about 3.5 years when all this happened. Right. And now, baby, I'm hitting the big time. But I'm doing what I was trained to do, which was Court TV, being a lawyer and a journalist.
It combines all of your interests.
Yeah, it puts my worlds
into
together.
One job.
And I didn't waste all of my father's money on law school.
That's right.
That's the best
Same
news.
with me.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this a little bit before, but when you first took that local news job, we were both attorneys, and you take a big pay cut.
Oh, it was crazy. Well, here's the story. So I was practicing law, making good money, and then I'm going to work for this tiny little cable station, and it was an entry-level job, right? It was like $10 an hour, I think. Right. I'm married, I have a child, all that sort of stuff. But I'm in the interview, and the human resources woman, really nice, but she's young. She's like 25 years old, and I'm a little bit older. And on the application, you have to write your current salary.
Okay.
So she's looking at my application, and then she looks up at me. She looks down. She goes, you know how much this job pays, right? I said, yes, I know. I just want the job. Please, just put me on TV. Pay me to be on TV. That's all I want. And I got the job. Take like an 85% pay cut, but you do the job, and you figure out a way to make it all happen. And the way I figured out to make it all happen is have an incredible wife
Right.
who's like supportive of it and is doing everything she can to help us make ends meet. And that's the only reason I am here today.
That's right. I can relate to that for sure. But so Court TV kind of went away, but we're back.
We're back.
How important was it for you to be a part of that, and to help initiate it?
Let me tell you, if Court TV was coming back and I wasn't a part of it, I don't know what would have happened. I mean, it would have been heartbreaking for me, but it might have been dangerous for the people who were hiring that weren't hiring me, because I'd be here every day banging on the door saying, you need to let me do this. Because this is what I love. The thing I love about Court TV and what we do here is we take that one story, that one trial, and we go all the way in, right? It's not like we're just dealing with headlines or we're telling you a story in 2 minutes, in 3 minutes, a minute 20, a minute 10, like you have to do in local news sometimes. But we can tell you the whole story, and we can get in the weeds with you. And the other thing I love about it is the viewers come with us. And they want all those details and the nuance and the strategy and fully tell the story. So that's what it's a blessing to be able to do that as a journalist, to have the deep dive into every single story we do. So that's why it's important to be here, and I'm excited to be doing it again.
You can clearly see your passion, and that's what makes a difference, I think. You look behind us, it's your front row seat to justice.
Yes.
So I know that you were asking a lot of the other talent. What's justice to you, Vinnie?
Justice, to me, is the truth, and it's a search for the truth. So for me, justice is served when you find out what the truth is about what happened. To me, when injustice occurs is when the truth is somehow not part of whatever that final verdict is, whether someone is wrongfully convicted or someone who committed an offense is not proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So for me, justice means the truth. And when I was a prosecutor, I took that seriously. I felt that my job was to do justice, which was to do the truth. It wasn't to win the case. It wasn't to charge someone or convict someone of the most serious offense or give them the most time. It's to do what is right. It is to do what is the truth of what happened and what the result of that should be. So when I'm looking for justice in the cases that we cover, I want the truth to come out.
I love it. You said it best. Okay, so I want to have some fun questions here. We've
All
been
right.
a little serious.
All right.
But maybe let's start with something people don't know about you.
Okay, a couple things. One, major scrapbooker.
No way. I would have
Love to
never guessed that.
Love to scrapbook. In our home, I'm the keeper of the pictures and putting things together. I love doing that. I also have a passion, but people may know this, for basketball. But what you may not know was my nickname in high school. You want to take a guess? Take a guess.
B-pole?
No. Hitman.
And why is that?
Vinnie Hitman Politan. So when I go back to my hometown, people are still calling me Hitman.
Really?
Yes, to this day. And I thought originally it was because I could hit shots on the basketball court, but that's not why. It was because one day, one of the guys on our team, Scott Adebato,
Hey, Scott.
our star, sees me. My father's dropping me off at school, and at the time, my father happened to own a black Eldorado Cadillac. And I stepped out of the black Eldorado Cadillac wearing a leather jacket. And he looked at me and he said, Hitman.
I love it.
So that's how I got the nickname. But I still, I'll tell other people because I can hit all the shots out on the court.
Okay. Well, we were mentioning earlier, you now play pickleball.
I love pickleball. If you haven't played pickleball, you need to play pickleball.
Yeah, people may not actually know what that is.
Yeah, pickleball is a combination of tennis, badminton, and ping pong. So you play on a court. You can be indoors or outdoors. It's smaller than a tennis court, but obviously bigger than a ping pong table. But you can play singles or doubles. It's a great workout for any age. The beauty is, I've been playing with all the senior citizens up in my town. They've been teaching me the game, kicking my butt. But it's a game that older people can play with younger people, so it's great for families, and it's great fun, and you can play, as long as you want.
Yeah. I played one time. I wasn't that great at it.
You weren't great? All right,
I need to practice.
All right, we'll play.
We have a Court TV pickleball team.
We'll have a tournament. And the Hitman's going to win.
I'll be on your team. Anything else people should know about you before we wrap this up?
The other thing is, at the end of my show, I always remind folks
Can we give them a little preview of your show, or no?
No.
Okay,
We're
secret.
keeping that under wraps. But at the end of my show, and I've done this in my radio show at SiriusXM, I've done it on all my TV shows, I always remind the viewers, don't forget to hug the kids. And I say that because I believe that we, as the adults of society, have a responsibility to look out for the kids, you know, whether they're literally our children or someone else's children. And when I say hug the kids, I mean it if your own children, yes, hug them. But if someone else's kids, I'm saying it in a metaphorical way that, hey, look out for and take care of the kids. So wherever you are, in whatever situation, just keep an eye open and make sure the kids are okay wherever you are. And I just try to remind folks to do that every night, because I believe we as the adults in society have a responsibility to take care of the children.
Absolutely. Good advice. Thanks, Vinny.
Thanks you.
For joining
That was
us.
fun. And I
Watch
didn't
Court
even
TV.
cry this time.
Watch Court TV. This man right here, Mr. Primetime.